Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dizzy Visions, and a little while after obviously the intro that I started talking, but that's just so you can see the most noobiest mistake, and I didn't turn my desktop audio off. So all you can hear in the background, if you listen carefully, is the Scotland versus Ireland Six Nations rugby game. But furthermore, to the race that we are currently in, we are racing in the AMG, and so is the car in front of us, and as you can see, he also has a Red Bull livery. So I'm not too happy about that, because I'm the Red Bull Mercedes. But we'll move on from that, and we'll race him, and we'll try and prove who's the best Red Bull racer out there. If not, we'll have to side with him and be a team. But we overtake the person with a penalty. So that's a free position there. We go round the outside of the Beetle, but he holds on, and we get a little bit of a tank slapper and drive into him. And I think we sort of got a better run than him, but we take the inside line, so we're up into third place now on lap 1. He's sitting pretty close on the bumper, so I stayed defensive and have to obviously cut it tight, so I compromise my speed through that corner, but I get a little bit of a shunt, which I think comes from a bit of a domino effect from behind me, but we're gaining a little bit of breathing space. But obviously now down this back straight, even though it's not really straight, I'm going to get slipped through from second place, but at the same time fourth place going to get slipped through from me. So into the heavy braking zone of the chicane, we unfortunately cut the corner there. I thought I'd got away with it because the penalty was quite delayed, but it's not too bad. I mean, the whole time I've been racing on this track, I've just keep mucking that last corner up. But we're in the slipstream of the other AMG, so he goes defensive, and we stay to the outside of him, and we beat him under the brake. So we got a nice overtake there. So we leave him the room. He gives us a little friendly nudge, but still we got the inside line, and we make the move stick. So we're okay, but then I just make a silly mistake and just go in too deep and just let him back through again. And a little bit of angry driving there from me, just over revving the car, kicking the back end out. But we move forward onto the final lap. As you can see, the other Red Bull AMG is in first place. We get a good run on second place. And we look for a move down the inside, but he's not there. That's unbelievable. He takes the other AMG out, so it moves us from third to first place with 3 corners, 4 included in this one if you class that as a corner. All we have to do is just finish cleanly, and we've won, proving we are the better Red Bull. But as you can see on our little radar, he's either cut the corner or just took that really quickly, because he just came through like a rocket. And I know he's got a time penalty, but it's a little bit annoying that he beat us on track. But still, we win the race, so I can't complain. But as you can see, that the other AMG fell down to 6th place. So the Beetle, oh sorry, not the Beetle, the other AMG has sort of done him a little bit dirty there. So yeah, he probably isn't too happy, but we're going to be sticking with it. I mean, I'm happy with that drive. It could have been better. It was pretty boring obviously during the race, as you saw lap 1, and then pushed it through to lap 4. But sometimes races do go like that, and you end up just making time up that was lost on like a first lap or something like that. But we went up 6 positions in that race, and that was our 9th win. So we move forward, try and get a bit of a better lap in, so we can start finishing up the order a bit easier. So we come around the last corner. This was my first lap out actually, so you can't see if we're up or down, so I felt like it was a fairly good lap, but I managed to take over half a second off my lap, so that's pretty good. so hopefully that should move us up the order quite a bit. So we jump into race. Obviously, as you can see, we're in 5th place now. Hopefully we'll get a bit of a better race, being at the front of the grid with the quicker drivers. Obviously that's not always the time, but we are car number 14. So something I've learnt recently from other YouTubers is the number on your car is where you rank in the race, as in driver rating. So as long as you beat that position on your car, theoretically your driver rating should go up. Obviously if you're number 1 and you win against other people, it probably won't go up as quickly, but it still will go up. That's my understanding of it. But as we go around the outside of the R8 onto the grass a little bit, we're now up into 3rd place, and the person in 2nd position has a 2-second penalty, so that's another 3 position we're going to get there, and then we're going to be chasing down another AMG for the win. As you can see, the R8 hasn't quite given up. It's still on my rear panel, but we're not going to squeeze him because that's not what we're like. So we start pulling away from the R8. So during this race I felt like we had good pace, but I feel like the person in 1st, he was pretty quick as it was. So obviously I'm not going to cut. I mean, look, if you look at him, he just sort of keeps gaining time. Every time I gain hundredths of a second, he gains 300th of a second on me, and I just lose time in different areas where obviously he's a bit more comfortable. He might, I'm not saying that, but obviously I've learned the controller, so some people may be better, but as you can see, we've miraculously caught him up with a lap and a bit to go. So he stays defensive, he goes very, very wide there off the track, but he stays on the light green, so he shouldn't get a penalty for that. But we cut back up the inside of him. Now it's just a drag race to the chicane. And we've got a slight edge over him, so we must have got a tiny little bit of a better exit than him. But he's still on our inside, so we won't be able to turn in on our usual turning point. But he just lunges, but he's got a penalty there. Now I'm not sure if he drove off the track after the bend, or if that was when he overextended, so he extended the track limits. But he goes deep again, so we cut up the inside of him, and we should have a fairly decent run to the line, because he's got a very poor exit obviously, but he will have the slipstream on us. So we're coming down to the braking zone, turn 1, so it's a heavy braking zone, and he just nudges us off the track. Now I don't know if that was intentional, like if I annoyed him by a switchback move or anything like that, the pressure I was putting on him, I don't know. But we know that 1st and 2nd both have a penalty, but it's only half a second, so it's not really going to help me out in terms of getting 1st place back, but we should be able to get 2nd place if I don't keep mucking up and spinning my car like that. On the other hand, I hope you guys are enjoying the rugby commentary in the background. It was a good game. It was a really good game. But here we go. As we come up, we're into the braking zone. He's obviously got out of his penalty, but he's very, very slow. So hopefully we can get the momentum out of this corner. But he touches the grass and he spins his back end of his car out. But here both of us got a bit of a wiggle one there. But managed to make the move stick, and we start pulling away. And I feel like he's got a very bad exit there, because the time is just dropping on him, and it looks like the AMG was just off the track again in front of me. We come down to the back straight again, which isn't a straight, and as you can see, he's near enough 3 seconds away from me, so I'm not going to make that up in 3 corners. It's just impossible. But obviously, if we hadn't been shunted off by him, it would have been a completely different race. I don't know if I would have won, I don't know if I would have come 2nd or what, but as you can see, he's got a penalty, but it'll probably only be half a second, so he'll get a 2nd for unserving it, or sorry, unserving it, not serving it. But it still won't bring us into 1st place, but it's still overall a good race, starting from 5th obviously. But still, it wasn't fun being punted off into the realm of darkness, and just wasn't fun there. Just watching first and second just drive past me and nothing I can do. But that's racing. We move on. He got his penalty. We couldn't capitalise on it, so you can't really complain. I still love that helmet design. So again, moving to the next race, and we start in 5th again. And we get a good start down to the first turn. So we may be able to push for 4th place in the first corner. But obviously we're a little bit more wise than that, and there's a little bit of shoving about, but we see the 6th position just trying to come around the outside, but we're up the outside of the 4th car, which is the Porsche 911, and we do give him a little shunt up the inside, so I sort of was expecting a penalty for this, and I don't know really where he was going on that exit, but it seems like we got away with the shunt, so we're quite fortunate there because there was quite a bit of contact we made. I just braked ever so slightly late. So we're now chasing down 3rd place for a podium position. We've gained a 2nd and we're sort of gaining more, so hopefully we can try and get out of the slipstream of the car behind us to focus more on the cars ahead. But we are sort of pulling the gap on him, so it's okay. So as long as we stay in the slipstream of these cars in front, we should be okay. And as you can see, us 4 racers, we all seem very evenly matched. We're all sort of the same distance, we're all taking the same lines. Obviously, of course, we're all in each other's slipstream, so as you can see, the car behind, we're now 1.8 seconds above him. So nice touch, you're going very well. 2nd place is off the track, so it comes on a bit dangerously. I know he's got to get back on, but obviously we should have moved over more, to be fair. So there's a bit of both parties there, making that a little bit risky jumping up there. We're now into 3rd place. We've now got a good run on 2nd place. It looks like we've got a better exit and we're in the slipstream. So we cut to the outside because he goes defensive. Try and get on the brakes better than him, so we cut back on his inside, but he holds it out well, so his defensive driving is pretty good, but we still manage to slide around the outside slightly. We get a little bit of a nudge. And again, we have to stay wide because he is there on our inside. You might not look it on the radar, but he is still fairly close. And he gets a decent run out of that corner, so he sticks with us in our slipstream. But I feel like I'm quite strong in this corner. I can manage to hit the brake quite late and turn in early enough that I can keep a good speed through there. So we managed to get a little bit of a breathing space for a sec. But as you can see, the car in front is over 3 seconds away. I mean, I've got 2 laps to go, but we skipped to like just coming up to the line, and his driving was just unreal. There was no catching him at all. Like, I didn't make any faults. I was pushing hard, but I just couldn't make any time on him. As you can see, we finished off 5.238 seconds behind him. So his driver rating probably will just be carry on going on through the roof, and he will end up in probably the top ranking. But I mean, it's a bit one day. We might be on that sort of level. I mean, I was leading a race 10 seconds at Suzuka, sorry, and then I bottled it. But to hold it together and still finish is still pretty good. But again, we got another podium. We went up 3 positions, and we're now down into 7th for the next race. So we know that there's obviously faster drivers than us in front. Again, as you can see, the number on our car is number 12, and we're starting 7th. So we're much higher than our driving rating anticipates us to be. But as it's very bunched up into turn 1. I don't know if maybe the car in first place braked very early to safely not get lunged, but it seems very, very tight at the minute around here, so making a mistake is not going to be good as I run wide again. And we spin the back end of our car out, so the German is going to be looking up the outside of us in a minute, but again, obviously, I'd take it a bit easier that time because I knew he was there. I didn't want to run wide because obviously when you brake late there, you push your car out to that curb on the outside. But here we see a French who's just gone off the track. He's staying defensive, but there's a lot of shoving. One goes off the track, so that's 3 position, and then 2 of them go wide, so I actually make 3 positions in that, just that one corner without actually doing anything. And we go a little bit more, we touch the gravel there, but we stick with 3rd place. Now if you can, that corner is very quick if you can turn in early enough, keep your speed, and you can sort of cut that corner. You see, if you see where the light green is, if you can cross your car across that and keep your speed there, you do hold quite a lot of speed. But yeah, it's hard. Like if you're following cars and that, you tend to sort of follow where cars are going because you're watching them, and it doesn't really help. But we fast forward because we were just following that pack. 3rd position actually made a mistake and we capitalised on it, and we end up getting another podium. So it's not looking too bad. I mean, we went from 7th to 3rd. But again, it's not a race win. We want the race wins. We want to be boosting our driver rating as much as we possibly can. And I feel like with the old penalty system coming back, I feel like my driver rating is just plummeting because some of the penalties, and there's a few examples in this, I hadn't even, later in the video, I don't even touch the other car, and he cuts the chicane and I get 5 seconds worth of penalty for it, and it just kills your your safety rating. But obviously I prefer it like this because, as you saw in my last video, we were being shunted about all over the place and it wasn't fun, all because I dived up the inside of him and he turned in on me. But we jump to the next race. We are in 6th position, 2nd lap in, we're chasing down the Porsche 911, and as you can see, the car behind us is around a second behind us, so he is in the slipstream, but because we're a lot closer to the car in front, we may not lose that gap we have on him as quickly as we gain. Not sure if that's actually a thing, but we are currently stuck in between 2 Dutch drivers at the minute, so we know Dutch drivers are actually fairly good. Any Dutch driver I've come across at the minute, they've been quite respectful, quite talented as well. They must all be secret Max Verstappen's, but we get a really good run on the Porsche, so we cut to the outside of him as he's driving the M&M's Porsche. It's quite a cool livery, to be honest. And in case you hadn't noticed, we are running in a new livery. I changed it a little bit, and I'm pretty sure it changes again. I had some neon yellow stripes on it to make it to fit in more with like the AMG look with the neon yellow. But as you can see, 5th place comes up the inside. We get a little touch from 7th, so it's quite close between the 2 Dutch drivers and us. And I did cut the corner a little bit there, but I didn't think I cut it that much. But I didn't mean to turn in that late. I was trying to make him come up the inside of me because it's not worth me holding him up anymore because I'm going to lose half a second anyway, so I might as well take my penalty, try and get in the slipstream of them. I mean, that's how quick it is, but you do lose more than half a second. Like whatever penalty comes up, you do lose more because obviously you slow down and then you've got to try and gain that speed when someone's flat out down that road already. So it does make it is hard, obviously, because you say, oh, I've only got half a second penalty, but you probably got a second up to a second and a half because you're trying to obviously pick that up. But as you can see, the first Netherlands driver comes through, and we just turn into an absolute noob and can't drive. So we lose another 2 positions. And there's a Beetle, and he's just come out of nowhere, and this is the car that I get a penalty on. So it's close racing, both fair, both living in each other's room, and my safety rating goes down, and I get a 5-second penalty for forcing the car off the track. Now, I could be wrong, but if any of you could tell me where I forced him off the track, I would like to know, because obviously he's still gaining the position. I haven't forced him off the track at all, and now I have a 5-second penalty. So, how am I supposed to build my driver rating and be a competitive driver if I can't have a wheel-to-wheel battle with someone that I don't even touch? Now, the Italian gave us room, we gave him room. He didn't brake late to try and close us off or anything. He let us take the corner as we wanted, but obviously he took it tighter than us. I just don't understand. I really don't understand. But we move on, so we're trying to stay in the slipstream of the Italian, but we're 4 seconds, well, nearly 5, in front of that. But it was pointless racing because obviously I just lost the 5 seconds, and I'm pretty sure I just ended up getting just punted around, so it wasn't even worth showing the rest of that. But we move on to the next race. We start in 5th place, and here you go, here's the new livery with the neon lines. If you do want to see my liveries, please let me know in the comments or tweet me, because I quite enjoy making liveries. So I don't know if you guys want, like with my helmet design clip, I don't know if you guys want to see little clips like that as well. But we move on to this race with the green lights given a go, and again we get a good run on the Porsche. We don't seem to be catching him as much as we did a couple of races ago. Obviously it's a different driver anyway, but someone just dives up the inside. There's another Porsche with the standard livery, which this is one of my favourite cars, the Porsche 911 RSR. I actually have the big Lego version of it on my desk. But at the minute it's a fairly boring start to the race, to be honest. There's nothing really happening, no one's really gone for an overtake, but it looks like second place has got a penalty, but it's just a corner cut by the looks of it. And we do get a shunt from 6th position, so we lose a position there. He stays wide, but our fellow British didn't show us any respect at all there, so we're just going to dive up his inside, and he was obviously worried we were going to lunge him, but he sort of cuts in on us, and we get sandwiched by the 2 British drivers. Now, take note of this McLaren in front of us, because I don't really understand why he's got BMW stickers on it. It's not BMW. But we dive up the inside of him, and I'm sure at some point we're probably going to get hit by him. But he's dropping quite a lot, so that's okay. But we, again, on the back straight, 3rd and 4th are battling up to the chicane, and the Ferrari just brakes really early. The Porsche just obviously rams him, and as you can see, as predicted, the McLaren just takes us off the track completely, and we're down to 14th. Did I stand corrected? 15th. As I think that's the Subaru, just squeezes up the outside of us. I do apologise for, like, I didn't expect him to come up the outside of me, that's why I tried to get as wide as I thought he was going to lunge up the inside, but as you can see there's a little bit of a incident happened there. I'm not sure what it is, but remember I said to you to pay attention to it, McLaren? as you can see, he has got a 6-second penalty. So I don't feel like he's trying to race. I feel like he's just bundling his way through the track and through the grid. That he's trying to squeeze the R8 off again already. I give him a little shunt and he pushes the R8 off again, which is probably my fault, and then the R8 just takes me off the track, and then I get a penalty for it. I don't understand. I mean, I know I gave the McLaren a little nudge. I know, and oh my god, we made a really noob mistake. I got to the penalty zone, and because it was so close to the penalty zone, it doesn't let me serve it on that lap. I didn't notice that, so I started dropping the gears ready for my car to accelerate again, and it didn't obviously start counting my penalty, so I dropped down to first gear or something, just randomly down the road, and then got shunted off track again. So at the minute we are way off target, obviously, of our driver rating going up, so we're going to probably take a very big L in this race. And I'm pretty sure I just ended up rage quitting that, because I ended up getting 2 positions back and getting taken out again. But we moved forward again to another qualifying because I was that frustrated that I left, went to qualifying because I wanted to try and start higher up the grid than sort of mid-pack. So we come up to the line and we make an improvement, but it's not much. But when you look at some of the qualifying times, they do sort of make quite a difference, just that tiny bit. And as you can see, we're now in 4th. So we go down to the green lights, and there's quite a bit of a gap between me and the Beetle, but we get hopefully a decent run on him and the slipstream. So we stay up the inside because you just don't know sometimes when people are going to brake early. I mean, the R8's pulled a lovely move off there and just lunged me. I'm not really sure what happened in that whole situation. It was just ghosted cars everywhere. First position's got a 1-second penalty. So at the minute we're looking in a good position, because the car behind me, as you can see, has got bad latency, so he's pretty lagging about, holding the cars up behind him because they won't know where to overtake him. Hopefully, don't hold me on that. So all we got to do is push for Billy Whiz and try and obviously make the move on him and then hold the lead. So he takes his 2nd penalty, and can we make it, beat him to the corner? I mean, he comes unghosted, but we've got a good run, and he manages to hold it just slightly, but we come round the outside and we cut back on the inside of him, and he's done very well to hold his position there, but we get a very good exit and we're up the inside of him through to the fast left right. I think it's called the Schumacher S's. I love my motor racing, but I'm really crap with tracks and corner names. And Billy Whiz just comes back and just tries to lunge me when there's no move there. The door wasn't even open. I hadn't even gone wide. But because he made contact with me, it slowed him down quite a bit, so we had a bit of momentum getting away from him, so we stay wide and turn out obviously late. And we fast forward because we just slowly started gaining on him. As you can see, we're nearly 2 seconds up on him on the final lap. I didn't run away with it, but I slowly was just gaining. He was maybe pushing too hard, driving angry or something, and as you can see on the leaderboard, he's in 3rd position, so he's made a mistake somewhere, or obviously just been cleanly overtaken. But we take a win with the new livery, and it's starting to become like a bit of a trend. But as we come to the end of this race, as you can see the grid, that's the end of this video. And make sure you head over to my YouTube channel, hit the bell icon, so every time I post a video you see it come up and you get a notification. Head over to my Twitter and just follow me on there, because I'm posting obviously about my videos, about what's coming up, things I've got planned, and it's just a way for me to keep in touch with the community that's slowly growing for me. So as we come to the end of the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you that are tuning in and subscribing and speaking to me on Twitter. It really helps, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Peace.